This is serious, torturer. Training camp has barely begun, and the Philadelphia Eagles' backroom is already on fire. Between rumors of a legendary All-Pro signing and explosive speculation surrounding a possible quarterback change, the landscape in Philly is changing by the hour. And you'll understand now why all of this could transform the franchise's future. But first, if you wear green with pride, like and subscribe to the channel, because what comes next could change the season's rumor mill. Can you feel it in the air, torturer? It's not just the heat of training camp, it's the tension, the anticipation, and the possible arrival of a name that could transform the Eagles' defense from an unknown quantity into a dominant force. The Philadelphia Eagles finally donned their padded helmets and began contact drills. And from the first observations, one area of the field stood out, but unfortunately, negatively. The safety position, which has been a source of doubt since the end of last season, is now raising a real red flag. Reporters closest to the time, such as Elliot Shore-Parks of YPFM and Jimmy Kempski of the Philly Voice, were not shy in their criticism. Both highlighted that the combination of inexperience and injuries is compromising the department. Sidney Brown, though talented, is still in the development stage. And Andrew Makuba, the rookie with potential, has faced a shoulder problem that limits his development and participation in training. Reed Blankenship, who was supposed to be the leader of the group, remains shrouded in contract uncertainty. It's a worrying scenario. It's precisely in this context that Justin Simmons' name is beginning to surface strongly. And it's no coincidence. The 31-year-old veteran, a four-time All-Pro and one of the league's most respected safeties in recent years, is still available on the market. And for many, this is no mere coincidence. Simmons has been dropping hints, some subtle, some not so much, that he's eyeing a potential union with the Eagles. The biggest one? His recent wardrobe choice. A jacket with the Eagles logo, which generated a stir on social media and sent fans into a frenzy. More than just a visual symbol, Simmons has a direct and powerful connection to Philadelphia. Vic Fangio, the Eagles' new defensive coordinator, was the coach who brought out the best in his career in Denver. Under Fangio, Simmons established himself as a true nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, combining his reading of the game, range, and ability to create turnovers in decisive moments. NFL.com analyst Kevin Patra got straight to the point. Simmons may no longer be at his physical peak, but his intelligence and familiarity with Fangio's system make him an ideal fit for a transitioning defense like the Eagles. And that's not all. At this stage of his career, Simmons doesn't seem to be chasing the biggest contract. He wants to win. He wants a ring. And by all indications, he sees Philadelphia as a real chance to achieve that goal. Howie Roseman is known for acting quickly when he sees a gap in the market, and August is the month when the general manager usually makes surgical moves. With Simmons still available and defensive weaknesses glaringly exposed, logic points to a natural and smart solution. Just imagine the immediate impact of a hire like this: leadership, experience, early introduction to the coach, and the ability to elevate the entire unit. With Simmons in the backfield, youngsters like Brown and Makuba could develop with less pressure, learning alongside one of the NFL's best in the last decade. The defense, which suffered so much from inconsistency in 2024, would gain more security and identity, key elements for a return to the Super Bowl. But if you think this story is already a long one, take a deep breath, because the name being linked to the Eagles in the next rumor is enough to send chills down the spine of any NFL fan. One of the greatest defensive talents today, a star of the division's hottest rivalry, and yes, he could be on Philadelphia's way. Get ready, because the drama is about to escalate, and the next revelation is simply bombshell. Can you imagine, torturer? The brightest star of the Cowboys' defense? The terror of NFC quarterbacks, trading blue for green and landing in Philadelphia? It seems like an impossible dream, but it's closer to reality than you might think. The NFL came to a complete standstill when the bombshell broke. Micah Parsons wants to leave Dallas, and the tension between the player and the Texans franchise can no longer be hidden. Now, with the drama unfolding behind the scenes, a question no one dared ask until now arises. What if the Eagles enter the fray? According to Fox Sports, sportsbook DraftKings has already laid its cards on the table. While the Cowboys are still the favorites to keep the player at 300, two others are close behind at plus 1,000 pounds, the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the division's biggest rival, the one Parsons helped defeat and torment, could be his next destination. And when we look at the Eagles' recent history, this possibility cannot be ruled out. With Howie Roseman at the helm, nothing is impossible. Roseman has already proven himself to be a relentless strategist, always keeping an eye on available stars, especially if they can elevate the defense. When a generational talent like Parsons is on a detailed path with his time, Roseman's radar goes off even louder, and the Eagles' need for more explosiveness in the pass rush remains a priority. Time has its pieces, yes, but no one of Micah Parsons' caliber. And when it comes to winning another Super Bowl, the difference between a good roster and a sports roster could be precisely a name like that. Now, let's be honest, the barriers are significant. First, the contractual aspect. Parsons is still under contract with the Cowboys until the end of the 2025 season, which means Dallas is under no obligation to trade him now. Second, the emotional and strategic factors. Trading a player like Parsons to a division rival is almost unthinkable, especially after seeing how the New York Giants regretted letting Saquon Barkley wear Eagles green. Dallas doesn't want to repeat that mistake. Furthermore, for this move to happen, the Eagles continued to give up important assets, draft picks, promising players, perhaps even some of their roster depth, and they still have to work out a hefty contract, as Parsons is on track to become one of the highest-paid defenders in the league. Is Philadelphia willing to make that investment? Based on the front office's aggressive track record, it wouldn't be surprising. But what makes it all even more intriguing is the simple fact that the Eagles are even in the conversation. This alone demonstrates the level of attention and ambition the franchise maintains even after its Super Bowl title. They're not satisfied. They want more. And if there's even the slightest chance of stealing a star from their biggest rival and putting him to shine at the link, you can bet Roseman will at least try. There's a psychological factor to all this that can't be ignored. Imagine the emotional impact on the fans, in the locker room, in the division itself. If the Eagles managed to land Micah Parsons, it would be more than a signing. It would be a declaration of war. It would be the kind of game changer that shifts the balance of power in the NFC East, that shows Philadelphia is playing chess while the others are still playing checkers. There's no confirmation of any ongoing negotiations yet. There are no formal offers, but the fact that Parsons' name is already linked to the Eagles shows that this story is far from over. And if you think this drama is worthy of a soap opera, just wait until you see what's happening within the Eagles' own roster. Because while the front office is watching the external stars, a possible internal move could be announced at any moment. And it involves a fundamental decision about Philadelphia's quarterback room. Who said, who stays, and which name could be traded in August? The answer may surprise even the most attentive fans. The Eagles' backup quarterback battle may be close to being settled, and with it, a trade could happen as early as August. Jalen Hurts is the undisputed QB1, and Tanner McKee appears to have secured his spot as the immediate backup. This leaves Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Kyle McCord vying for the third-string role, now more valuable due to the NFL's new rules that allow a third-string quarterback in emergency situations without occupying an active roster spot. Thompson-Robinson, with starting experience and strong performances in past preseasons, appears to be the most marketable name. The Eagles are monitoring the market, and if he ever faces an injury or seeks to bolster their depth, a third-day pick could put him in a different uniform. The Detroit Lions are one of the players mentioned as a potential interest as they seek stability behind Jared Goff. McCord, a promising youngster from Ohio State, is expected to be suspended as a long-term project. He offers a higher ceiling and fits the development profile the Eagles value so much. The truth is, keeping 4 quarterbacks on the active roster is impractical, and even with the position's history of injuries, Roseman may prefer to turn one of them into draft capital. The scenario isn't simple. The presence of veterans like Carson Wentz still on the free agency market and the massive cuts occurring at the end of the preseason could make it difficult to move on from Thompson-Robinson. But the Philadelphia front office has already shown that it knows how to seize the right timing. After all, it recently traded for Kenny Pickett, and they profited from it. Would you rather see Justin Simmons bring leadership and immediate security to the secondary, Micah Parsons wearing green and causing nightmares in Dallas? Or do you believe that trading one of the backup quarterbacks could be the Eagles' true strategic asset before the season starts? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. But later, I will come back to update you with the latest news from the Eagles.